This is Pearls on Tuesday with a Easter Decor home tour for 2023. We are in my family room, and on my mantle I have a beautiful garland made of eggs that are touched with gold leaf. And in the middle I have displayed a chinoiserie egg and a couple little fuzzy chicks and a fuzzy bunny. I think that bunny is so realistic. And sitting underneath the mantle on a very old bench that my grandmother brought over from Panama is a handmade bunny rabbit that was made by a woman that worked in the cafeteria at one of my old schools. The coffee table is set with this vintage tablecloth that is hand embroidered. It is a basket with some eggs. The eggs have beautiful French knot filigree in the middle. And I put out some of my children's china. Well, actually, these are two piggy banks, the Beatrix Potter and the Bunnykins. And in this tray are some eggs, some Easter grass, and in the center, this handmade vintage piece. It has chicks in the middle. It has a sign that says, "Hello, Spring." There is some vintage millinery there on the side. And this little bunny has a hand-painted porcelain head. I can't remember where I bought him or if someone gave it to me, but I've had it for quite some time. At night, those lights light up and shine off of the eggs, and it's very pretty. And some more of my Beatrix Potter baby dishes. My sweet kitty Maybelline Grace, enjoying the sunshine this morning and watching the birds. I use these sugar-coated picks in a lot of my plants for Easter. I think it gives it a little festive touch. And this side table in my family room displays this Easter purse, Easter basket purse that's probably from the 1960s, maybe the 50s, and this bodice that I decorate for each holiday. The basket purse is white wicker, and it has a wooden lid that opens. And this sweater was my daughter's. She wore it for several Easter seasons. And of course, I had to put some bunny ears and some festive greenery on top. Just another example of using those festive picks in my plants here. Heading into the foyer, I really love this little rabbit carrot house. It has a lot of detail which you can't really see in the video, but it's really fun to look at to discover all those different things. And this board that I made that displays cards and ephemera for each season, I have an antique Easter card. It was never sent, never written in. I don't even know who purchased it, but these little die-cut pieces belonged to my grandmother. They're probably from the 60s or 70s. I love to display those. The sun coming in this back door is a little harsh. It's early morning, but this is an egg wreath with some crocheted bunny rabbits on it. And you'll see a little glimpse of onto my patio outdoors. I'm going to do some outdoor filming a little bit later. But on my grandfather clock, the ledge of the grandfather clock, I'm displaying some of my porcelain bunny rabbits. I especially love that little nest with the eggs. And this is a little tiny brass bunny, and this little pudgy guy, I think he's had one too many carrots. We're heading into the kitchen now. And the first thing we see is this little fence box. It's made of wood, and inside I have put some burlap carrots. And up on top of this display case, I have a bunny mold. I've actually used it to make a cake. I love to find festive, seasonal things that relate to the kitchen to display in my kitchen. And some more burlap carrots hanging there. On my cafe table in the kitchen, I have a piece of my grandmother's embroidery. I kind of think they look like iris flowers, but the purple color is perfect for this time of year. She probably did that in the 40s or maybe the early 50s. This chalkboard that I have in my kitchen, I always try to display a Gaelic phrase. This time it says Cask Hunadut, which means Happy Easter Day. This little vignette is on top of a cake pedestal, and as a tablecloth, I'm using one of my nanny's hand-trimmed crocheted handkerchiefs. And this is a German tea set that I ordered for my daughter probably 25 years ago. And behind it stands my Lori Mitchell paper mache bunny. And of course, everyone needs a jelly bean every now and then because some bunny needs a treat. This vignette in the center is sitting on top of another one of my nanny's crocheted pieces. I have two of these sugar-coated bunnies. And in the center, a hand-painted Victorian egg. Some of the paint is coming off, but I love it just the way it is. And my April angel holding a basket of eggs from Napco years and years ago. On the side of the counter here, I have my vintage chippy paint egg basket holding some eggs. The two in the middle are German and made of paper. They came with candy and treats inside. And here in the front are some faux pieces. They look like foil-covered chocolates, but they're not real. And two chocolate molds in the background. Over on the coffee station, I have a little box of stuffed plush Peeps and a cute little rabbit dish. Get ready to hear my squeaky floors. This display is again on top of one of my grandmother's crochet pieces, but I absolutely love these beaded eggs. And that's a little vintage cupcake pick there in the background. This rabbit picture I purchased at an antique store a couple of years ago. I love how you can see all the crazing. And a depression glass egg cup. My platter back here has a little bunny pull toy. And my blue and white spring dish towels. I love blue and white. Little Nora Fleming decoration there, the basket of eggs. And another one of my favorite seasonal dish towels. Heading into the foyer now, on the side table are a collection of these old-fashioned sugar eggs. They are dioramas, and if you look inside, you will see little chicks and Easter flowers and Easter grass. I think they are just mesmerizing. I remember looking at these as a child, and they still bring me such great joy. My entryway table holds my feather tree. We'll get a closer look at that in a few minutes. I decorate that feather tree for every season, but I really love this glass basket with a little Beatrix Potter bunny and eggs. My grandmother did this piece as well, but this piece of ribbon is very old. It was given to me by my friend Chris, and I absolutely love the blue and the white. Closer look at some of the decorations on the Easter tree. I think my very favorite is this bunny smocked all the way around. The majority of these belong to my mother-in-law, and she gave them to me a few years back because she knows that I love to decorate seasonally, and I love to display them at Easter time. There's a glass egg. Now on the banister, I have put one of these chair sash that I've turned into floppy bows and some more burlap carrots. And of course, my angel that greets you in the entryway always holds something seasonal. And right now she has a little basket with an egg. And of course, everyone needs to take a few jelly beans before they leave. There's a bigger stuffed peep on the stairway. And heading into the dining room, I have my dining room table laid with a linen ruffled tablecloth. On top of that, one of my nanny's vintage cloths, but this runner, I've had for quite some time is embroidery work. It has chicks and flowers, and this flow blue piece, compote dish, I have put some Easter grass, some eggs, and some colorful bunnies. But I absolutely love the blue and yellow in this embroidered runner. I think it is so pretty. The buffet is set with some of my favorite organic pieces. This big bird's nest we found in my yard. Those are not the real eggs, but the bird's nest is intact, and I have put with it some of my hydrangea blossoms dried from last year. And under this cloche is another bird's nest that was actually in a wreath behind my front door, and those are the real eggs that we found in the nest. On the china cabinet, I have some pretty ribbon cascading down and another little bird's nest. That one is not real. I mean, we didn't find it on our property. It was purchased. And of course, this dried arrangement, I add to it every time I have some pretty dried flowers or get some flowers that dry nicely. It works for every season. All you have to do is just add a couple little touches, and you've kind of transformed it into something new. And lastly, in my powder room, I had to share this. Under this cloche, I have put a collection of these little fuzzy chicks. We used to see those everywhere, and I don't see them quite as often anymore. But to end with another one of my Nora Fleming pieces, the Blue Bird of Happiness, wishing you and yours a happy, healthy Easter and a happy, healthy spring. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to Pearls on Tuesday.